when you start looking at what a beautiful life looks like to you, and you start visualizing that and writing it down, and something triggers within you, that higher self, that spark that you have, that I call the enlightenment within you, your diamond starts becoming clearer. You start resonating at a higher frequency very, very fast, because you've decided, this is what I want. I really, really know this is what I want. And if you know what you want, well, then it can be manifested into your experience. But if you just don't know what you want, how is your beautiful spirit and your mind going to manifest it? You have to be clear.
Hey everyone, Martin Pytela here for Life Enthusiast podcast. And today with me, Michele Blood, a dynamic woman, I tell you. I will let her tell her story because it's worth hearing, but you will be, well, pleased at minimum. Hi, Michele.
Hello, Martin. I'm so glad we finally got together.
Yes, there have been obstacles, but we overcame.
Yes, we did. We always do, because
Yeah,
we are life enthusiasts.
yeah. Yes, we are truly trying to, well, the motto here, restoring vitality to you and to the planet. And of course, if the planet were not vital, then we would be just whatever. That's,
Buggered.
that's just my story. But your story, I think, is spectacular in the sense that you must have been one heck of a spark in your younger days, right? Rock and roll and whatnot else.
Yeah, I started I was on TV since the age of 5 singing. And over the years, I was in a lot of different bands until finally I got my own band together. And we became quite successful in Australia doing videos. One stage we toured for 7 years nonstop. And I was the lead singer and one of the main songwriters and the manager of the band. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very, people don't understand what it's like to be in a rock band. You have to be so disciplined. It's not sex, drugs, and rock and roll at all. The guys in my band weren't allowed to even have a drink during during a gig. At the end of the gig, I didn't care what they did, but because to become very successful and never blow out a gig, you've got to make sure that your voice stays good all the time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, so it's I say to people, if you can treat running your business or your life like a successful rock band, you'll do good. Because if people could see behind the scenes of what Mick Jagger does to get prepared, and all these different people that I don't know Mick Jagger, but I've worked with the Pretenders and different people touring with them.
Right.
And, you've got to be really disciplined. And it's like Vanessa Williams once said, when someone said, well, how do you do all these gigs? And she said, well, you don't talk during the day. And I'm like, well, duh. No singer who works a lot ever talks during the day. So you become very zen that way.
All right.
Anyway,
Right.
that's the beginning of life. That's
Right,
how,
indeed. But
yeah.
I mean, it takes a certain amount of desire and energy and some kind of a spark of life to actually want to express at that level. I mean, I remember as a young fellow, I was in a band too, but
Oh, cool.
not nearly world class or national class or anything. You know, we did a number of gigs, but it was just, well, we wrote songs and did
It was
stuff.
fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was
I
great.
mean, music makes the world go around.
It does. Yeah. See, there's a piano over there.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. In the band, I was in the bass player. Ugh,
Oh, you were the bass player?
I was
Were you a picker or a slapper?
I was the slapper.
Oh, I love it. I love some good
I
slapping.
was I was hitting the
Oh,
hitting
right. That's the sort
fingers
of
and
bass
all.
playing I love.
All right.
When I was, yeah, just, yeah. I mean, Prince's bass player live was incredible. I mean, when you get funky bass players, it's just, that's my favorite instrument to watch in a band. Seriously, I'm not just saying it,
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
bass. If
it's
it's
that
if it's
sort
a
of a
slapper.
core. Yeah, it's that core line that holds things
Oh
together.
yeah.
Like you can do all the
Oh,
fancy stuff on the outside, but you need to have
yeah,
the organization somewhere at the center.
exactly.
Well, which is kind of interesting as you're saying that you have to be disciplined, right? You have to be actually putting your to to put a large imprint on the world, you have to be darn disciplined about doing it.
Yeah, and I do agree with you that it's just I was apparently a very, very shy, what they thought was shy, quiet little girl. But when I got up on stage, my parents didn't know, they had no idea that I could do that. I didn't know I could do it. I just did it.
Yeah.
Apparently, I could sing songs from the radio by the time I was 2, all the lyrics, everything. Mum
Whoa.
said you sang better than you spoke at 2 years old. So I think it's just something you're born with from
Yeah.
past lives or whatever. It's just
Yeah.
something, we're all given different gifts.
Right.
And when you've been given a gift that you love to do, well, then it's just, you know, there's no decision making ever required. That is what you're going to do. And so if you're really, really sure about something like that and you can run through all the obstacles and all the people that say no, 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 and still keep going ahead, well,
Yeah.
then it's not about ego. It's about you've something within you that you've just got to do it. You've got to be up on that stage and make
Yeah.
people happy and make
Right.
them laugh. And,
Yeah.
anyway.
And then life deals you a setback, right? And then you have to actually show just how tough you are.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a matter of showing how tough you are. I think it's just it's not something that can be taught, I don't believe. I think it's just something that you have within you. And
Mm.
I was just very blessed to have that because, as you know, I had a horrific truck accident
Yeah.
and that could have been something that could devastate someone and have them just, suicidal. And I was a little bit suicidal, I must admit. But I don't think from that accident, it was something. I don't believe that anything is an accident. I believe that everything that happens to us happens because it's been, I don't want to say fated, but it's something to let us stretch and grow.
Yeah.
And it turned me not from singing, I still sing, I still do music, but into a different trajectory
Yeah.
to do what I love to do, but something that's going to uplift people, still entertain them, but uplift them and help change their mindset.
One thing that really struck me in your background was how you expressed that singing, because it has words and music, is helping to heal a brain or at least integrate or develop, right? And
Just,
that I thought was marvelous. That to me was, aha, there's something spectacular here, is that in fact in singing, songs that have words and melodies are helping to, well, I don't know, develop or reconnect our brain and stuff like that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like the affirmation power music. I was doing affirmations in the hospital to heal my body and they weren't working because every expert has ever said, even though I didn't know that much about affirmations or anything because that wasn't my world, you know but something about it when I heard about it rang true for me. You know what it's like, Martin, when you hear something for the first time, but there's something in the marrow of your bones that you just know what you've just heard about is true. And when I looked back at the success I'd had and failures as well. And I realized I always got back up again because of the fact that I had that willpower
Mhm.
to know that I could make things happen. There was no such thing as no in my vocabulary.
Right.
So the affirmations, I started doing them. They say it's got to be a positive statement you say to yourself about yourself,
Mhm.
and it's got to be emotionalized. But how can you emotionalize something if what you're seeing around you, whether it's illness or someone's
Yeah.
died, or you're talking about, wanting to do an affirmation to be a
Yeah.
magnet to money, and you see poverty around you and you can't pay your bills, how can you emotionalize something? So
Yeah.
this is what was the big turning point for me in the hospital.
All right. And so how do you teach it?
Well, let me tell you, Martin.
It's a secret.
It's a
I'll
secret.
tell it to everyone.
Everyone, exactly. I'll tell you about a monk story in a minute, which will go in synergy with what you just said. Anyway, so when you listen to a jingle, you can't get it out of your head because advertising agencies spend billions, not millions a year on jingles. Because once you've got that jingle in your head, you have their product in your head forever. You don't have to emotionalize a jingle, it goes straight into your subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my brother and a couple of people. This is before Google, young folks. They had to actually go to stores. I said, go and find me some affirmations with rock music, pop music. And they said, there isn't any such thing. So I put my little cassette player on, or I got someone to because I still couldn't move in that hospital bed. And I just started singing. I am healed, I know I am. I love myself, I am my friend. And I sang it over and over again. And I didn't know what was happening. All I know is I would just listen. I sang for about 60 minutes, Martin, and I would just listen to it over and over again. And years later, I realized, what was going on was the lyrics, the affirmations going into the left side of the brain, and
Mm-hmm.
the melody, the music, even if it's just a cappella, is going into the right side of the brain. So you have a whole brain experience that goes straight into your subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
Your doubting mind doesn't have a chance to say, but I don't believe it. I can't see it. I can't feel it.
Yeah.
So I did this for my own healing. I never, ever intended to have it available to the public because it wasn't cool. It was just affirmation music. It wasn't. So, but that's how it happened. That's how it began. Me
Yeah.
doing all these recordings for all these affirmations, and how I ended up working
Mhm.
globally with all these huge names I'd never heard of. Bob Proctor, Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you want me to sing in between them talking? Who are they?
Yeah. Who's
I
this
don't know who
Deepak
they are.
Chopra guy? Yeah.
So that's how it all began.
Yeah.
Promoters
Yeah.
finding out about my healing, and then,
So is it good enough if I just sing in it, sing quietly in my head with it? Does it still work, or do I need
oh
to
yeah, you don't have to
shout it
sing.
out
You just
loud?
listen.
Just listen is good enough?
Yeah, you just listen. But if you sing along with it as well, because I've got like over 400 songs dealing with success, magnet to money, healing, um, self-esteem songs for little kids. I mean, I've
Yeah.
got, and they're all in all different genres, rock and
But
roll,
that's such a
80s
cool
disc.
thing. So most of our audience is either parents or grandparents, right? And so um, running around with the kids singing along with these affirmation songs would be pretty darn good, right? But
Yeah, I mean,
here's something that I mean, in my education, I've come to know that a child until about 6 years of age doesn't really have a conscious gate or conscious guard at the gate of the mind. Everything is deposited straight in, no judgment, no filter. It just goes in. So pre up to school time or school age, we want to push into their consciousness the right stuff, not the wrong stuff.
yeah, Dr. Chopra actually said, why don't you do them for little children? Really,
Mm-hmm.
So I put together the cutest album. I have a little animal speaking and then singing along with me at the beginning of each song for these little kids. And they're endangered animals. And I put on a voice because I can do voiceover for anything. Like he said, my Bengal tiger Indian accent was better than his Indian accent. And so I've got the little
I am the
animal.
tiger. I cannot do Indian accent if you told me.
I've got these little animals, and then the little animal sings along with me that they love their family, and
Fantastic.
so it's self-esteem songs for kids with a Z. And many people have said they actually prefer singing my affirmations that I've done for kids than some of my other affirmation songs because they said it's just so fun. But
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah. So
Okay.
that was
So these can be bought straight up
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, yeah. Get anywhere in the world, iTunes,
Amazon, what?
Amazon, everywhere. Yeah.
Spotify, what?
Sorry.
Well, what other places? I don't want to
Oh,
give Amazon the
anywhere,
monopoly.
anywhere good music is sold.
Okay. And so what we're looking for then is Michele Blood affirmations.
No, for the kids, it's called Self-Esteem Songs for Kids by Michele Blood.
All right.
And you'll see like a cartoon character of me with all the little animals that have been animated on the cover. Yeah, so that's it's a joy to realize that you can just through music because I mean back in the day, Martin, I would do songs like me. One of my popular songs was called "Mere Dust Without You, Baby." I'm lost, going crazy, you know. And one thing after realizing how much music can affect you, I would never, ever again write a negative love song or a blues. You got the blues, don't listen to the blues, even though blues is great under certain circumstances.
Well,
All
you can
music is
you can
great.
wail a positive message.
Yeah, every
I've
every
been so
genre.
good.
Well, I think James Brown wrote the best affirmation song of all time. I feel good and I knew that I would.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
get up, get down. Which one is it, baby?
yeah. He had that interesting sort of a constricted voice, right? All right. Good. Okay, so affirmations. And then you actually have a membership thing going, right?
Yeah, I do. Because what I did actually, Martin, was while I was touring the world with all these people, and I was running Bob Proctor's business actually from Kuala Lumpur and I worked with him for 7 years straight. We did great seminars. I turned them into rock concerts. We did books together and programs, and he even started writing affirmation songs with me.
Cool.
The man was brilliant. He was just
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's from Toronto, the other side of your country from where you are.
Yeah.
And it was interesting that people just get it. They just get it. But I started having like this heart glow and I didn't know what it was. And I said, I want to find God, I think. I said to
All
Bob,
right.
you
At
know,
least give me the reason for my existence, right?
and so he said, I think you need to find an enlightened teacher. So I started reading books that him and other people recommended to me, like Autobiography of a Yogi and say Teresa of Avila, Interior Castle, and all these mystical things. And so I looked for 14 years for an enlightened teacher globally. I went anywhere I heard word on the street was there's someone, because it's very rare to find one.
Wow.
And eventually I did meet an enlightened teacher. I went off the grid for over 10 years, off social media, doing events, everything, just to study
Wow.
meditation with her all over the world. And that's why now she doesn't teach now, but now I teach because I had an awakening. I teach students from all over the world, from members, call them members if you want to, or students, but they learn. I teach everything that I could possibly teach that I've experienced to uplift people for their healing of their body, healing of their finances. But my main purpose is for them to have an awakening, for them to learn meditation practice, and for them to feel what it's like to actually feel good, awake,
Mhm.
peaceful, focused. And so, yeah, that's called the mysticalexperience.com. And we have these irreverent, fun Zoom meetings, and
All right.
it's just a blast, and
Yeah.
it's
I saw on the website it says bi-monthly, which completely fried my brain. Is it every 2 months or twice a month?
oh, well, there's different levels,
Right.
if
Yeah.
people,
Yeah, I
yeah,
see that you could get me an hour one-on-one plus everything wonderful for, well, that takes a little bit of manifestation to pay for that, but what the heck, why not?
yeah, but I also do lots of free things as well, lots of free things,
Yeah.
and if someone wants to become a student and they can't even afford it, I let them come for free. I don't want to ever knock anyone back from. I toured for too long, Martin, where these people were paying a fortune just to go to a seminar event.
Hmm.
And sometimes you'd hear that they'd sold their car or they'd mortgaged their home. And so I make it very, very reasonable for anybody to come. And if anyone wants to sincerely come and learn about how to stop thought and meditate and they don't have the funds, well, they can come for free. So it's all good.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking over your right shoulder. There's this thing called You Can Be a Magnet to Money, and there's an app for that. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
yours?
it's 3 years developing that. It's we've got free apps as well. This one's I think about $3 or $4 a month, and it's got one of my most famous affirmation songs, the Magnet to Money affirmation song. And you have notifications. It's also got a sleep program. It's also got tons of morning meditations
Hmm.
and tons of affirmations where people can just
Yeah,
speak after me and have the music underneath.
right,
And
right.
it's just got and free things, lots of free things. My best-selling book with Bob Proctor, Be a Magnet to Money Through the Sea of Unlimited Consciousness audio book for free. So yeah, but it's quite interesting. Um,
Yeah, I
Holly
think,
Fuller helped
yeah,
develop it, and she's
yeah.
brilliant. But it was
Okay.
takes a long time to develop an app. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of work. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to develop an app for the Life Enthusiast store and whatnot, and looked at it and thought, no, maybe not this year. But maybe I'm going to buy or subscribe to this Magnet to Money because um, I could always do better. And
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of, well, an interesting twist here when I know that it has to get into the subconscious. And so using the music part definitely does the trick. Like this is a major, I don't know, for me anyway, like took me this long to find out, but yes, there it is. Like I
Yeah.
could I can do hypnosis, but hey, I can just sing it.
Yeah. I just my my philosophy has always been mwah, kiss, keep it simple and spiritual. People make things so complicated, and it's all about love and giving and compassion, and yeah, and for people to get their enthusiasm for life itself back again, and for nature and appreciating the planet, and that's why I loved it when I saw the title of your podcast. I was like, yeah, I want to go on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not about excitement. Excitement is ego. It's about the inner coming out, being enthusiastic. And you can feel it. When people are sincerely happy people, you can feel it the moment you walk into a room. It's like someone said to me once, it's like they're farting daisies.
Oh, that's sweet.
You can just, they're just, and it's people from all walks of life. You don't have to be specifically on a spiritual path to be an amazingly happy person.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that being on a spiritual path, or let's not take the word spirit out of it altogether. Being on a life enthusiastic path
All right.
with
And enlightened,
enthusiasm.
enlightened, the light shining on your path. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have to be spiritually inclined to practice meditation. Meditation practice will just assist you to be
Yeah.
healthier, lower blood pressure, and to be focused
Yeah.
so that you can finish projects without feeling stressed. Yay.
Yeah. Right. Because who doesn't have too much to do today?
Exactly.
I have not met one yet. Yeah.
And if they don't have too much to do, that's why I always say to people, have a goal. Always have something that you're working towards to expand,
Yeah.
whether it's learning a new language. You know all those languages, German, Russian, Czechoslovakian. What else was there?
Yeah. English.
English, right? That's right. I know Australian.
Yeah, that's it. I can say a few silly things in Dutch.
Yeah, so go ahead. Say something in
Which?
Dutch.
In Dutch?
Yeah.
Oh, 88 kacheltjes.
Oh my God. Hang on, I just got to wipe my face.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should have just said to me, bless you, my child.
Yeah, I remember somebody was teaching me this Polish thing, which is just, Polish are so great at clustering consonants in crazy ways. And
Did it involve an Irishman in a bar?
oh well, anyway, let's leave that. And the love you make, no, love you take is equal to the love you make, right? That thing, that's the tail last words on, I think it was the Abbey Road album. And it just sticks in me and I keep singing it in my head, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Beatles just,
Yeah.
that era,
Yeah.
it was so incredible. The 70s and the 60s, the music was so positive and fun
Yeah.
and joyful.
Yeah.
And it
Well, the
just,
60s as an era was a very hopeful time,
yeah, yeah,
right? Like the years 68, 69, 70 were just phenomenal.
I concur.
Yeah. In the music, in politics,
Yeah,
the opposite. Oh,
yeah.
well, anyway, okay, so here we have our ability to fix the mess we made, to reprogram our brains, to rejig the future. Oh my gosh. I mean, Michelle, it's great to meet someone who's been there, done that. I was looking at the testimonials that you posted on your website, and I was thinking, oh yeah, for every one that's there, there's probably 1,000 behind it that got something, right?
Yeah, it's incredibly beautiful to see how many people can, when they know how, can uplift their life and change their lives.
Yeah.
Because everybody can. Some people think they can't do it because what's happening is they're, and this is scientific fact now, folks, it's not woo-woo Woodstock talk anymore. We resonate at a frequency. People used to call it vibes or vibration, but we resonate at a frequency. And if somebody cannot get past that rabbit hole that they're in, it's because they have to bring their frequency up. Because what you're resonating with, whatever you're resonating with, you'll attract into your life, negative or positive. So you can be like, you see these people that are frustrated, Martin. They're like, I know I'm a good person and I'm doing these affirmations, I'm saying them, or I'm doing my best to be nice to people and
Mhm.
be a kind person.
Yeah.
Why aren't my finances getting better?
Yeah.
Why do I still have rotten relationships?
Yeah.
And they
Why
don't
can't I catch a
understand
break is my
that
word for it.
they
Yeah.
can change that
Yeah.
really, really quickly
Hmm.
with just a little bit of music.
RESPCT. Can you
Yeah,
believe it?
exactly. Thank you. Visualization
Yeah.
and just to want to change. Like I say to people, if you
Okay.
can just write down, thank you. If you don't believe in God, that's fine. Thank you, life, for a beautiful life, or thank you, divine, for my beautiful life. And then write down, which a lot of people don't do because they don't know what they want. They just say, I want more money. No, be more specific. What
No,
do you
money,
want?
money is nothing. You can't do anything with it.
Exactly. What do you want to succeed at? What looks like a beautiful life to you? If you could honestly say, I have a beautiful life, what does that look like to you? Where do you live? Who are you
Yeah.
friends with? Where do you travel? Do you have a pretty garden? It's like
Yeah.
the things that
Yeah.
are
How about this? I want to walk out on my green, stunny, splotched garden and sit down there and have a glass of orange juice as I sit there contemplating how happy we are sitting here. Something
that's
like that.
beautiful.
Hmm?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
that's beautiful because when you can do that, something happens, ignites within you when you start looking at what a beautiful life looks like to you and you start visualizing that and writing it down and something triggers within you, that higher self, that spark that you have that I call the enlightenment within you, your diamond starts becoming clearer. You start resonating at a higher frequency very, very fast because you've decided this is what I want. I really, really know this is what I want. And if you know what you want, well, then it can be manifested into your experience. But if you just don't know what you want, how is your beautiful spirit and your mind going to
Yeah.
manifest it? You have to
Yeah.
be clear
Yeah. How
on
will
what
you
you want.
know that you're there if you don't know what that looks like?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, indeed.
Because
This is,
otherwise, anyway. Oh,
look what I just fished off of my shelf.
you got a diamond too. Yay.
I think they're about the same size too. Yours
Yeah,
is
they are.
bigger. Yeah,
Yeah, because
this
I
is from
use this.
Swarovski. Anyway,
Yeah, I actually give people little diamonds when they come to my event
yeah.
to remind them to keep, that's your spirit. And it's all clogged up. That's why you can't feel your intuition. It's all clogged up with
Mhm.
past experiences that you've had. And that's got to become dissolved so that you
Oh,
can start feeling that enthusiasm within you again because you have it. Everyone has it. And
yeah.
everything is possible for everyone, but it takes work. It takes a decision that you're
Yep.
going to change. If
Mm.
someone says, oh, it can just happen like that, well, they're
Okay.
trying to sell you something because you have to be part of that change as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when you actually make a decision, that's it. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to not just begin to exercise tomorrow, I'm going to do it right now.
yeah. So when is it exactly too late to start?
um, well, when you're 6 feet under.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's never too late, ever,
Yeah,
ever, ever.
exactly. Uh, I had a talk with a lady. We helped her overcome fibromyalgia
Oh,
at 73. And she said, I am so grateful that at least the rest of my life I am going to be now pain-free.
well, what did you do?
Oh, it's a health process. Yeah, okay. It's toxicity, malnutrition, stagnation, and trauma all need to be dissolved and removed from the body, all of it, right? So we helped her figure out what the toxic blocks were and what the nutrition missing pieces were and how to overcome the trauma. This is the singing into the soul. We did it differently, but hey, please let me sing to my damaged soul something that's going to help heal the cracks.
This is amazing if you're doing that. So tell me more about that. The website, what it is, what you do. I love this
Okay.
because
Well, it's
because that
called Life.
side of it is
Yeah.
I'm always nagging people
Yeah.
to exercise, to look after yourself, to have lots of water and eat fresh
Mhm.
veggies. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, our website, well, this interview is done by us of you. It's life-enthusiast.com. That's you'll find it. And yeah,
Well,
I,
I'm gonna go and check it out
I
and
appreciate your
and let
enthusiasm
let
indeed.
my friends know about it as well because if you're an expert in doing that and you're so lovely, you've got such a beautiful soul and a beautiful
Yeah.
you
You,
just
you
you're
know,
not egotistical, you're just lovely.
yeah, thank you. I had so much pain back when, so
Uh-huh.
overcoming it was exactly what wears off the edges, right? Like I call it tumbling stones in a creek, right? Like after they've tumbled for a couple million years, they're nice and round and smooth, not an edge on them. Very pleasant to touch. Well, that's what we do in our young years. We create some sort of a disaster that will help us in process of overcoming it to smooth out the edges. Right? Like I can relate to people who are in chronic pain. I spent several years in chronic pain, right? Like I know what it feels like to be really, really hurting. So
See, this is
now it's behind me.
this
I
is
can
what it's all about. Somebody who has been through an experience and they've discovered a way to heal themselves, whatever area of their life.
yeah.
And then you pay it forward by helping other people.
Hmm.
So that's what it's all about. That's what life's all about. Because you
Yeah.
can go through anything, but It's like don't go to a piano teacher who can't play piano. If you want to have health and nutrition, you go to Martin because he's been through it and he healed himself.
Yeah.
And so, that's what it's all about. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love
Well,
it.
and likewise, I'm just telling you that it's, I think it's the process of overcoming a disaster that helps us, those of us that do. I mean, I don't know, there may be some people who don't, who just are broken and stay broken, but getting over it is a really good tool for, oh, just getting some humbleness and getting some perspective and getting some, I don't know, well, tools and compassion for others, all of that, right?
And keeping it simple.
Oh, that too. I love your, yeah,
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Keep it simple and spiritual. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Thank you, Prince.
that's great. All right. So, okay, folks, we have a special page. Michele is just so creative. She came up with micheleblood.com. Michele is one L, not two. micheleblood.com/life enthusiast. LIFEENTHUSIAST. You go to that website, you're landing on a page, and you will get a whole bunch of free gifts just for coming there and sharing your email. Because how else are we going to send you the gifts?
But it's one of my favorite audio programs, and I've done so many, but I love this one because it's an updated version of the very first book I wrote called Affirmation Power. And so this is the magic of affirmation power, but the audio book. And the reason I decided to gift your people, your friends and fans with this one is because of the fact that not only does it teach you, I tell my story, but it teaches you about visualization and meditation and affirmations. Plus, I have there some of my songs for free as well, and tons of audio affirmations you can listen to with the music underneath and repeat them after me if you feel like it, just while you're driving along or whatever you're doing. And it really helps uplift you. And so I like audiobooks that have got the music and they've got affirmations and they've got extra tools that are free for you to be able to do it. And plus, once you get that, you'll also get one of my best-selling video courses or online courses, but it's a 6-week course, mysticism course, to help you clean out the clutter from your mind and from your life and assist you with step-by-step instructions for 6 weeks each week to really assist you to blast ahead, to turbocharge into 2025 with clarity, with decluttering of the mind and your house and business and everything. And that's for free as well.
That's just awesome. Really is.
So enjoy that, everybody. But I'm just so happy to be on, just to have a nice conversation with a lovely soul who's doing such lovely work in the world. I really appreciate this time. And
Yeah.
for all of you out there that are watching and that are fans of Martin's, friends, well, you be a friend. Who wouldn't be a friend of Martin? Just to know that everything is possible for you. And of course, it does not matter what your age is.
Yeah.
Absolutely doesn't matter, because if you're still here, there's still work to do. There's still joy to be had.
Right back at you. Michele, it's been such a delight to make the acquaintance. I am so glad we overcame obstacles and got to meet in time and space. And I'm just so delighted. And I'm sending you my email right away.
Yeah, let's stay in touch. And thank you so much. Lovely, lovely Martin. And how do you say love you so much in Dutch?
Yeah, I don't know that.
Oh, you don't know that? Dutch people don't love you so much?
But in Czech, miluju tě z hloubky svého srdce.
Well, there you go.
That was in
Ditto.
Czech. And that
Ditto.
I love you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, that's ditto.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Michele
Martin.
Blood, this is Life Enthusiast, life-enthusiast.com. And the website you go to is micheleblood.com/life enthusiast. Thank you so much.